am Coach Sandy Nightpaver of SageRunning.com.
And I'm Coach Sage Canaday of SageRunning.com. Today we're going to talk about some running form tips in this tutorial series. Let's get started.
So we're going to start this video off by talking about two different theories on how to implement form changes for yourself. And so part one's going to be in this video, and then Coach Sage is also going to do a video and I'll talk about the second theory there. So to start off, I'm going to talk about the theory that a lot of the biomechanic experts go with. And so basically it says when you implement a form change, the first 2 weeks you really have to think about it and you're going to be feeling it with every single step. If you're not feeling that form change, you're probably going back to old habits and just doing what you're used to. So that's the first 2 weeks. You really have to think about it and you're really going to feel it in your stride. Then there's the second 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks, the movement you want to change is going to feel much easier. Like you can do it, but you're still going to have to think about it and keep checking in with yourself. And then finally, after those 4 weeks are up, the form change should be officially your new movement pattern. It's programmed in your brain and in your body, and so it should be a really fluid motion. And so that's a big commitment for a form change, and a lot of people don't think about that. So that's a big part of the reason why we say don't implement a form change right before a race, because it takes time for your body to get used to that and to build the right connections.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite tiring. I know in making little changes myself, you have to constantly be thinking of every step on every run, especially like Coach Sandy said, those first 2 weeks, and to make slight adjustments at a time, right? If you make too drastic of a change too fast, you're not going to be able to compensate, or it's going to take a longer period of time to compensate. And a good way to check in on yourself is if you do a hard workout, you have someone film you or you set up a camera and see if you revert back to those old poor form habits, right? When you're tired is usually when your form breaks down more and you're not thinking as much about the new changes you're trying to make to your running form. So that's another key tip to go along and chart your progress.
And I think that's really the key, is to film yourself or work with an expert, because a big problem we see with people who want to implement form changes is that they overcompensate somewhere, and that's really not what we're looking for. So you're trying to address one pain and fixing your form to do that, but then you come up with another pain on the other side of your body, probably means you're overcompensating somewhere, and that's again why you have a video of yourself running.
And that's why we suggest just making kind of one change at a time, right? You're kind of focusing on one change. You could think of 100 different things as you're out running, what you're changing with your form, but you want to kind of just focus on one change at a time and get that new neuromuscular pathway, the connection between your brain and your muscles, firing the correct way in the correct movement pattern.
So that's it for this short and sweet video. For more running form tips and the second part of the theory on how to change your running form, check out Coach Sage Canaday's video, which I'll link to right here.
Thanks for watching, and yeah, my channel's over at VO2 Max Productions. We also have our coaching website, SageRunning.com, where we co-created training plans for any surface, any distance, because that's what we've experienced as both athletes and with athletes we've coached. So thanks for subscribing on here, and stay tuned for more.